So let me introduce Jonathan Davis. Woo! Woohoo!
Oh, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
Thank
you. Yeah, Jonathan.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Ms. Lowen. I sincerely appreciate it. As she said, my name is Jonathan Davis, everyone. I'm happy to be here. I know you guys have had a very long day, I think starting at like 9 a.m. or 9:30, talking about the college admission process. So I know it's been a very long process, but I'm sure you guys will get through it. Before I get started, I want to ping in the chat a link to a website. It's called Menti, and essentially Menti, I want you guys, it's a question, and I'm gonna share my screen as well. Give me 1 second.
Jonathan, just to let you know, we had a presenter earlier try to do this. You may not have an issue, but they did kind of run into an issue getting it to work. But you may not have that issue.
Okay, is my screen showing?
Yeah, I see it.
Yes,
gotcha. Yeah, so if everyone can go in really quickly, log into Menti, and just and give me some idea of how you guys are feeling about the process. See, someone said I'm scared, low key. Are any of you guys feeling encouraged, apprehensive, or excited? Anyone excited about the process? Gotcha. Awesome. So it seems like we have a wide variety of feedback, from extremely nervous to some people is excited, some are okay, some are apprehensive, some are happy. So ecstatic, I love to hear that, so ecstatic. Stressed, I feel you completely. I know it's a lot of work and it's a big hill that you guys are going to have to tackle the next couple months. It's cool. It is cool. It is cool. So like, I'm going to get started now. So thank you guys for being responsive and being engaged in this. But I really want to start off by kind of reviewing how you guys got here, right? So I'm assuming the process hasn't changed from when I came to Magnet over 8 years ago. Actually, it's more like 12 years ago now, think about it. Typically, people come from the middle schools in the area. So either Davis Middle School or Edwards or Conyers Middle School. And then you guys all applied to the Rockdale Magnet School for acceptance, right? You guys got in, and then you came in as freshmen and became engaged. You guys are taking some difficult classes right off the bat. Some of you guys are taking AP Environmental Science. Some of you guys are taking algebra. Some of you guys are taking geometry. All the way to the point where you, over the course of the years, you guys are seniors now, and you guys have taken some extremely difficult courses, right? So as a junior, some of you guys may have taken AP English, AP US History, AP Calculus AB, Advanced Geometry, et cetera, et cetera. I want to let you guys know that Magnet knows what they're doing. As an experienced professional to this day, I appreciate Magnet for giving me the toolkit to grind and to teach myself how to study. So the first and foremost thing I want to give you guys is that believe in yourself, because you have done the work. I'm talking about classwork specifically, but also outside of the class, right? Outside of the classroom, I'm sure on this call, we probably have some football players, may have a tennis player or two, a cheerleader or two. Shout out to the mathletes. I'm sure we got some mathletes on the call. I know Dr. Garner over there. I'm sure we also have some people who are involved with debate team, science Olympiad, robotics, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So in addition to dealing with all the difficult classwork, you guys were also being heavily involved with extracurricular activities. And some of you may not have been involved in the school-specific activities like I listed. Some of you may have had to engage in jobs. Some of you may have worked at, I don't know, maybe Office Depot or something, or had to pick up a job after school to provide income for your family, right? Doing that on top of the schoolwork, you should be talking about that in these essays you guys are writing. Again, as I'm saying, you guys have done the work. And everything I'm talking about right now, I haven't even touched on research. So in addition to doing your classwork, in addition to doing your extracurricular activities. You guys were doing international science fair, county science fair, magnet science fair, year after year after year. This is no easy feat. There's not an accomplishment that anybody could do. So as you're going through the application process, and I'm looking back and remembering how it was for me, I consistently compare myself to other individuals. I consistently compare myself to people I didn't even know that will be potentially applying to the same schools as myself. I'm encouraging you and imploring you to believe in yourself because you guys have done the work and done the work probably more than other students at other schools. Like I said, Magnet knows what they're doing. So trust in yourself, trust in the process, believe in yourself. On the same note of believing yourself, I encourage you to shoot your shot. Someone once said, maybe it was Aristotle, maybe it was Michael Jordan, who knows? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And that it rings very true to the application process, but also in life. So when I say shoot your shot, I'm encouraging you to apply to schools that may be a stretch, but also to be realistic with yourself. I'm gonna give a small anecdote about my experience. So at Magnet, I was highly involved with the peer mentoring program. I helped co-found MASA. I was a mathlete on the math team. I also took a lot of the difficult courses like AP Chemistry, AP Calculus, BC, and AB, et cetera, et cetera. So I did all these things, but I still doubted myself a little bit. So I knew I was going to apply to Georgia Tech, UGA, some of the HBCUs, and I was considering Ivy League institutions, but I doubted myself in that process. And it wasn't until Ms. Lewin encouraged me, you can go a little higher. It wasn't until a family friend encouraged me, Jonathan, like you've done the work. You should shoot your shot. So consequently, I did. I applied to Princeton, Yale, Cornell, Brown, and several other Ivy League institutions. Granted, I was denied from all of them but one. One of them gave me a chance, and it was Brown University, and that's where I ended up going. And I would not have had the opportunity to enjoy those amazing 4 years at Brown if I didn't apply, right? So I think you should shoot your shot. At the same time, you should also be realistic with yourself on where you are. If you made C's throughout your entire time at Magnet and didn't do as well in the SAT, ACT, maybe you shouldn't shoot the biggest shot, but you should definitely apply a little bit above and believe in yourself and definitely address issues in your essay that may have affected your grades accordingly. So like I said, shoot your shot because you're going to miss every single opportunity if you don't even try. So I encourage you to try. And even on that same note, I also want to make a point to touch on is that it doesn't really matter where you go at the end of the day. It's cool to have that brand name. I went to Brown or I went to Yale or Stanford or wherever. It doesn't equate. I don't want you to equate where you end up with your self-worth. Because I know a lot of individuals at Brown who are very smart, but also know some amazing best friends of mine who didn't go to these Ivy League institutions and are doing way better than those individuals that I went to school with. So not really about where you go at the end of the day. And I do want you to go where you would like to end up. But if you don't end up in the place that you wanted to, understand that you're going to be fine. You're going to be more than fine because it's about the work that you put in at the end, regardless of what institution you attend. You're going to be amazing and you're going to be okay regardless of where you go. So I encourage shoot your shot, but don't equate your self-worth to wherever you end up because you're greater than your test score, you're greater than your grades, you're greater than the school that you attend to. The last point I want to touch on is kind of talking about where we are right now. So as a working professional, I've been on Zoom this morning since 7:30 this morning, and I'll probably be on Zoom or Microsoft Teams for another 2 to 3 hours a day. So when I say I feel your pain, trust me, I feel your pain of adjusting to the times that we're in right now. You guys have heard it's unprecedented times and it's difficult because it is. And I can tell you personally that this sucks. No one really likes sitting in a chair all day behind a camera. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. And I want to talk about this when I say it is what it is. I want to encourage you guys to be resilient and lean into the change. I had a lot of plans this year for 2020, personally, professionally, athletically. I wanted to go hiking, I wanted to climb some mountains, but I couldn't do that. So I had to adjust things accordingly and lean into the change that was presented to me. So as you guys go through this year and this process of applying to school, and senior year is supposed to be an amazing time, which I know it still will be for you, I encourage you to lean into the change that you guys are experiencing and don't resist it. Because those who end up resisting change end up getting left behind. And those who lean into the change are those who end up being more successful. And I have one last story to tell you guys, and I'll get off my soapbox. During my time at Brown, well, before even attended Brown, I was accepted to Brown University, Vanderbilt, and Georgia Tech. Those are my three that I was really looking at. I think Georgia Tech was about, with financial aid included, I think 20,000. Georgia Tech Georgia Tech was 20,000, Vanderbilt was 40,000, and Brown was about $60,000. A lot of money, y'all. It's a lot of money, and my parents are not rich. but I somehow persuaded my parents, hey, can we do Brown? I was the first person in my family accepted to the Ivy League university. My dad didn't even go to college. My mom went to a small school in North Carolina. So it was a big opportunity for my family to, to attend an Ivy League university as a family, right? So I persuaded them, let's bite the bullet for now. We can figure it out when I get there. So I got to Brown and took some hard classes. I enjoyed myself my freshman year. I get to campus freshman year. It's an amazing time. I love it. I make friends. It's awesome time. I come back December that year, so that December for Christmas, and I'm like, hey, I'm talking to my parents, and they're like, Jonathan, we don't know. We really don't know if we can keep going. I said, Mom, I got it. We're going to figure this out. I promise you, I'll take care of it, right? I go back for the spring semester. Again, I've taken some difficult classes. I end up getting a couple B's and a couple A's and a C in multivariable calculus, which was a very difficult course. So by the end of the year, I finished my GPA off maybe like 3.2, 3.3, right? So I come back home to my parents again at the end of the school year during the summer, and they're like, Jonathan, you got to figure something out because we can't foot the bill for this. This is a lot of money, $60,000. A lot of money, y'all. So I encouraged my parents, hey, Mom, I'm going to figure it out one last time. So I go back to school, and I think about how can I figure this out? Somehow I have to either transfer universities to a cheaper university or get a lot of money or find someone to pay for my school. Because of my GPA being a 3.2, 3.3, I didn't have the qualifications to transfer into Georgia Tech, which is a 3.8 transfer average. To transfer into UGA, which had a higher GPA average than what I had. And I'm not saying other schools are of lesser worth. I'm just saying those are the schools that I wanted to transfer to if I wanted to do it. Because I knew my chances of transferring were very low, I had to lean into the change of understanding how can I make it worth my while to stay at Brown. So I found out about the Army ROTC program on campus that will fund 2 years of full tuition moving forward.